In this video, we will discuss about anti-diabetic agents. Now, in the previous video on insulin and its preparation, we have already discussed that insulin is extensively metabolized by the enzymes of the liver, and hence it cannot be administered through the oral route. And so, certain agents are used. They are called as oral hypoglycemic agents, and these are the drugs that are used to reduce the blood sugar level. There are different classes of oral hypoglycemic agents are sulfonylureas, biguanides, phenylalanine derivatives, and thiazolidine diones. Okay, so these are the four classes of hypoglycemic agents that are in the syllabus. The first chemical class is the sulfonylureas. Now, as you can see, this is a general structure of sulfonylureas. Now, this NH2CONH2 is the urea, and then we have a SO2 group, so the name is sulfonylureas. Now, these drugs are the important class of oral hypoglycemic agents, and they are categorized as first generation of sulfonylureas and the second generation of sulfonylureas. The first generation of sulfonylureas, the drugs that belong to this category are the tolbutamide, chlorpromamide, tolazamide, and acetohexamide. The second generation of the drugs under the category of sulfonylureas are glipizide, gliclazide, and glyburide, also called as glibenclamide. Okay. Now, these members of this class, they structurally differ in the substituent attached at the para position of the benzene ring. Now, this R group is normally at the para position of this. This is the para position. So, the members of this class, sulfonylurea, they generally vary at the substituent that is attached at the para position of the benzene ring, and the group at the terminal nitrogen, this R double dash. Okay, so this is the general structure of sulfonylureas, and these are the possible sites at which the modification leads to different analogs. Now, the brief SAR of this class of drugs: para monosubstituted benzene ring is optimal for the activity. Now, this is benzene ring, and this substitution at the para position of benzene ring, monosubstitution, is optimal for the activity. Now, groups like methyl, amino, and halogen, at this position, they enhance the activity of the sulfonylureas. Now, this coming to this R double dash, the size of group that is attached at this position is critical for the activity, and the lipophilic groups that are attached to the terminal nitrogen are beneficial for activity. If we have groups that are lipophilic in nature, and these groups are attached at this R double dash, so it is beneficial for the activity. Substituent with the carbon chain varying from 3 to 6 attached at this position are again optimal for the activity. Alicyclic or heterocyclic ring attached to terminal nitrogen also offers the potent derivative. So, this is the brief SAR of sulfonylurea class of oral hypoglycemic agents. Okay, so, again let us revisit this. This benzene ring should be monosubstituted for activity. Then groups like methyl, amino, and halogen, they enhance the activity. R double dash, this group is critical for the activity. The groups that are lipophilic are beneficial for the activity. Again, we can have a fragment having a carbon chain of 3 to 6, and this is optimal for the activity. Again, alicyclic or heterocyclic ring can also be attached to this position, and it offers very potent derivative, as we will see in the upcoming slides the effect of substitution on the activity of this R double dash. Okay. Now these are the drugs in the syllabus: clopropamide, tolbutamide, and glibenclamide. Now you can see this is the general structure: NH2CO, NH2. This is the urea part. Then we have, as discussed in the SAR, here is the alkyl fragment that is having a carbon chain of 3, and the benzene ring, it is monosubstituted with the halogen. Okay. Then again the drug is, second drug in the syllabus is tolbutamide. In this you can see the halogen at this position is replaced by the methyl group, and in addition the fragment of attached at R double dash, it is changed from C3 to C4. Okay. Now in the glibenclamide you can see this substitution at the para position is very different from those that present in tolbutamide and clopropamide, and also this fragment R double dash, it is substituted not by a simple alkyl but a cyclohexane ring system. Okay. So these are the structure of clopropamide, tolbutamide, and glibenclamide. Now this chemical name of this clopropamide is 1,4-chlorobenzene sulfonyl 3-propylurea. Okay, this can be named as this. And tolbutamide, replacement of chloro group attached at para position of the benzene ring with a methyl, and replacement of propyl moiety attached at terminal nitrogen of chlorpropamide, it gives tolbutamide. And then glibenclamide, or also called by the name glyburide, it is more potent than tolbutamide and chlorpropamide, and is categorized at the second generation of oral hypoglycemic sulfonylureas. Now, as we have discussed in the SAR, this group, introduction of this group at this position, it affords the potent derivatives. In addition to this, we have this carboxamide. This is carboxamide. Okay, this is carboxamide fragment attached at the para position. Now this also affords the potent derivatives in this class of sulfonylureas. Okay. Another drug in the syllabus is glipizide. Again you can see the structure of glipizide. It is again having a carboxamide fragment at this position, attached at the para position, and then we have a R double dash as a cyclohexyl fragment. Now glipizide, replacement of 5-chloro-2-methoxybenzene substituent of the glibenclamide with 5-methyl-pyrazine, it affords the glipizide. Now this is the ring system is pyrazine, 5-membered ring system, pyrazine, and this is 5-methyl, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, so this is 5-methyl-pyrazine. Now this is carboxamide, it is attached to this fragment, and then we have this. Okay, it can be said as N2 4 cyclohexyl carbamyl sulfonyl phenyl ethyl 5-methyl pyrazine 2 carboxamide. Okay, if we name it as by keeping the parent structure as methyl pyrazine 2 carboxamide, this is methyl, this fragment is methyl pyrazine, this is position number 2, carboxamide, and then we have ethyl group. Attached to ethyl group is the phenyl group, and then attached to the fourth position is this cyclohexyl carbamyl sulfonyl fragment, this fragment. Okay, so this is the chemical name of glipizide. The mode of action of sulfonylureas is that they act as an oral hypoglycemic agents by stimulating the release of insulin from the beta isolate of Langerhans in the pancreas. Okay, now it is interesting that they stimulate the release of insulin, but they do not stimulate the synthesis of insulin. Okay, now coming to the second category of drugs is the biguanides. Now these biguanides, the drug in the syllabus is metformin. These biguanides do not cause hypoglycemia on administration to normal subjects and also do not cause release of insulin. Structurally, they consist of two guanidine. This is two guanidine groups joined through a NH linker. Okay. Now, metformin is a drug. Activation of adenosine monophosphate dependent protein kinase called as AMPK, adenosine monophosphate dependent protein kinase, has been proposed as its mechanism of action. Now the third class is thiazolidinediones, also called commonly as glitazones. Now this is the molecule of, this is the ring system is 5-membered ring system having sulfur and nitrogen. So this is a thiazolidine ring system and it contains 2 ons. So thiazolidinediones. This the drug is pioglitazone and rosiglitazone. As you can see, both of these drugs contain this fragment, and this fragment is called as thiazolidinediones. Now these pioglitazone and rosiglitazone, they are agonist of these PPARs or peroxisome profilator activity receptors, and these are nuclear receptors and increase transcription of insulin responsive genes, and so they are used in the management of type 2 diabetes mellitus. However, these glitazones, they have major side effects that include congestive heart failure and myocardial infarction. Okay. Now the another category of drugs are the phenylalanine derivatives. Now this phenylalanine is amino acid. Now this part, okay, this phenylalanine. Now these are derivatives of amino acid phenylalanine and also used as oral hypoglycemic agents. They act by blocking the ATP dependent potassium channel, resulting in the release of insulin. Okay, now the drug under this category are the ripaglinide and natiglinide. Okay. Another class of drugs is the alpha glucosidase inhibitors. Now these alpha glucosidase inhibitors, they are competitive inhibitors of the enzyme alpha glucosidase, as the name indicates, alpha glucosidase inhibitors. And this enzyme glucosidase is located in the brush border cells of the enterocytes, and these this enzyme hydrolyzes the non-absorbable oligosaccharides and polysaccharides and forms absorbable monosaccharides. Okay. Now these drugs, they inhibit this process and thus they act as oral hypoglycemic agents. The drug under this category are acarabose and voglibose. Now both these drugs are can be termed as pseudo saccharides or pseudo carbohydrates. Now acarabose, it is the most used drug of this family. It is a pseudo tetrasaccharide. Now pseudo means not true or false. So it is a pseudo tetrasaccharide with a nitrogen bond between the first and second glucose unit. Now this modification of natural tetrasaccharide is responsible for the high affinity of this acarabose to the active site of the glucosidase, and it is also essential for its stability. Now another drug in the syllabus is voglibose. This again is a pseudo carbohydrate and it is slowly and poorly absorbed and rapidly excreted in stools. Okay, so this was all about the drugs in the syllabus. If you summarize what we have discussed in the today's video, now we started with the introduction to the oral hypoglycemic agents. Now we are aware that these agents were used because insulin cannot be used through the oral route because of its metabolism. The classes of drugs were the sulfonylureas, biguanides, phenylalanine derivatives, and the thiazolidinediones. Under sulfonylureas, there were first generation drugs and then second generation drugs. tolbutamide, chloropropamide, where the first generation, and glipizide, glycoside are the second generation. Then we discussed about the SAR of these sulfonylureas. We discussed the structure of the various drugs in the syllabus. We discussed the mode of action of sulfonylureas. Then we proceeded to the another class, that is biguanides. And then the another important class was of the glitazones. However, these glitazones have a marked effect as a myocardial infarction and CHF, and then hence they limit their use. And then we have discussed about the derivatives of amino acid phenylalanine. Under this class we have two drugs, netiglinide and eripaglide. And at the last we discussed about the alpha glucosidase inhibitors. Now these drugs, they inhibit the enzyme alpha glucosidase and thus inhibit the conversion of oligosaccharides and polysaccharides into the absorbable monosaccharides. The drugs under this class are the acarabose and voglibose. So this was all about the oral hypoglycemic agents.